It's time, yet again, for me to regale you with my favorite Project Sekai songs, because dang it, I just have too many opinions to share. Remember that these are just my favorites, so your faves may not be on the list. It doesn't mean I hate them, it just means they didn't make the top 10. And don't forget that this is the 4th video like this I've done. Your favorite song may be in a previous top 10, so if you haven't seen those yet, you can check them out after you finish this video. As usual, I'm listing my 10 favorite songs group by group, going in order of which 10 songs I'm least enthusiastic about to most enthusiastic. And this year, More Jump is up first. I know, it surprised me too, but worry not, Idol fans. This year really is oops all bangers. Even though the girls are at the bottom of my enthusiasm level, I still really like all the songs I have to discuss this time. So you're still in for a treat, and you'll never be able to guess what my number 1 pick for them is this year, so stick around to see that. Number 10, Nostalgic. Now I'll be honest, I actually almost always just play the Haruka alt for Nostalgic, but listening to the version with all 3 ladies again for this video has me rethinking that. They all sound really great together, and I appreciate this rare opportunity to get to hear Shizuku be powerful with her vocals. Nostalgic's a certified classic in my eyes, and it's so nice to see new life breathed into it with this version, even if that new life is 4 years old by this point. Number 9, Killer. I think this MV is a little too far on the safe side, staying firmly in the they sing and dance and that's it camp of MVs, but I can't deny that Irie's special hair for it is cute AF, and in general the whole song has a super charming energy to it. Whenever the girls cheer, it's like I gain an extra heartbeat in life. The thing keeping Killer from going higher on the list is that it's just a bit too high-pitched for my liking. It's a good thing all the idols are good enough at singing those high pitches that it still sounds this good despite my preferences. Number 8, Kyukurin. Another one that gets held back by how high-pitched it is. Kyukurin is cheating a little bit because I really like this song. So while this isn't my favorite version of it, I can't help but still like More Jump's cover. I'm grateful for all the alt versions of it because while all the girls are singing it well, I feel it being a full group cover does the song no favors. And I am disappointed that the MV ends up softballing on the depressive elements in the song, but despite all those gripes, I can't help but go, ooh, let's do that one next, when I spot Kyukurin in the song list, which I think speaks volumes on how good it still is. Number 7, Delusional Aspartame. This song comes flying at you at 1,000 miles an hour and doesn't let you go until it ends. I love it. I adore the bloonky blonky sounds filling the background. It gives the whole song a classic NES vibe that is brought forward with a very modern performance by all the ladies' vocals. It's also one of the cleanest examples of harmonies with More Jump. The idols always sound really great when singing together, but something about Aspartame has them all perfectly caressing your eardrums. An absolute sleeper hit from what little I've seen of this getting discussed, though maybe I'm just not in the right circles to see it get the attention it deserves, but I do know for a fact that it do deserve plenty of attention. Number 6, Jumpin' Over. Jumpin' Over is shockingly low-key for how happy it makes me feel. I love me the fast-paced, high-energy vibes, but Jumpin' Over makes my heart race without setting the song's BPM to 200. And it features some examples of the gals singing higher notes that don't wander into the too high for me zone in a really lovely way. Maybe it's the incredibly charming MV, maybe it's the hopeful, sweet lyrics, maybe it's the classy use of guitar and piano throughout. Whatever it may be, Jumpin' Over is the perfect song for Minori, and a delight to hear every time. Number 5, Anti-You. So I'm already bored of this trend of making Haruka's events have this edgy, all-black aesthetic, and this is only the 2nd time they've done this, but I can't really complain about it all too much if it's gonna keep giving us bangers like this. Breaking up the idol's usual sound with a more rock-esque song like this is a welcome change of pace every now and then, and it delightfully features one of the better performances from Luca since her Mikufication with the virtual singer's new voice banks. I find it hard to ask for more from Anti-You. Number 4, Boo! Boo became a smash hit and instant classic the second it dropped. It all feels like the sort of song that's been around since the dawn of time, sitting comfortably alongside other classics like Sweet Magic and Melt. And while it's not a song that needs 5 people singing it, having the whole group performing it together with Rin gives it a lot of life, as their complaints get to bounce around the cast, and paired with this cute art in the MV, helps to make the whole affair a lot more lighthearted and fun than it could end up in less capable hands. The song may be called Boo, but I think I can speak for all of us when I describe it as Yay instead. Number 3, Supernova. Remember how I mentioned this trend of Haruka and her edgy black pants? Well, Supernova and the event it came with did it first, and I gotta say, it blows Anti-You out of the water. The girls all just sound more cohesive here, and Kaito's addition helps to flesh out the sound more and give the overall song a fuller feel to it. Not to mention Supernova pushes and pulls you along at the perfect pace, all building up to a tasteful yet triumphant finale during the final chorus. And even that is only enhanced with the MV, giving the kids a fireworks show right on time to the music. I had found it hard to ask for more from Anti-You, but if I were to ask for more, it'd probably look like Supernova. Number 2, Superhero. If I had a nickel for every More Jump song featuring Kaito and the word super in the title, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. Returning viewers will know by now that Kaito is my favorite of the virtual singers, and one I've been begging, screaming, crying to have join the kids singing more often for Project Sekai. So when they finally deliver and give me Kaito singing alongside the girls in this, an incredibly fun, energetic, electric song, obviously it made it onto the list. It's got the same infectious happiness as Jumpin' Over, and the same delightful cheering from Killer. It's kinda everything I like out of More Jump, wrapped up in a bow with Kaito on it. Honorable mentions. So I like to feature some honorable mentions before getting to number 1 on my lists, and this time I had the fun idea to use the honorable mentions section to list a few songs for you that aren't in Project Sekai that I'd like to see make their way in. These are all sorta unlikely, but I hope they can at least be fun new tunes for you to listen to on your own. And the first one up is Shabon by Hachiya Nanashi. Shabon has this slick, classy sound to it. Hachiya Nanashi's very good at making songs with a sort of jazzy vibe, and that has some real power to them too. If it were to get a cover, I think More Jump would be my first choice. The girls would all do great with both the quiet and loud elements of the song, and the lyrics work so well for them too, but Wonderlands Showtime as a second choice makes just as much sense, especially with Nanashi's more cerebral visuals. The Circus Bunch would have a field day with these aesthetics. Number 1, We Are the Stain Busters, featuring a fascinating spelling mistake in the official JP MV. This song is part of a collab between Project Sekai and Sunstar Aura 2, an oral care brand, and it's just a total bop! I'd praised the harmonies in aspartame, but those don't hold a candle to what we get here. The group all sounds great, and it features 2 Vocaloids! I'm fairly certain this is the only song that has all 4 humans and 2 virtual singers featured, and across the board, they're doing a great job! It's also poppy and bright, downright perfect for selling toothpaste. We Are the Stain Busters is a perfect example towards the fact that collaborations with seemingly random other companies can still make for banger songs. This has hands down been the More Jump song I've listened to the most this year, and there's something that just really tickles me about that. Discussing the idols was a lot of fun, but it's time to move on to the next group, Nightcord 25. Another surprise, I know. They have consistently been on the higher end of these lists for my enthusiasm, which I think illustrates just how good this year has been to see them this early in the video. As always, Nightcord's list was the hardest to whittle down to 10, but I did it, so let's get that list started. Number 10, DNA. As of writing this, DNA is the most recent song added to the game, which means I actually have to wait a couple of days for its MV to release. In that time though, I'm still able to listen to the song, and there's a reason why a song this new was able to jump straight onto my top 10. The retro sound at the start immediately gets your attention, and the lyrics and BGM know exactly how to let you think you might be able to get away, just to pull you right back in. I'm really excited to see how the MV for it adds to the experience, experience, and here is where I'll be able to share my thoughts about it once it drops. Number 9. Lag Train. I knew this song was omega popular before it made its way into Project Sekai, and since I'm a contrarian, I decided to abstain from listening to Lag Train at all until it got this cover. And yeah, I get why it's omega popular. The backing track is gripping enough, featuring a percussion that feels heavier than it really is, and a piccolo, I think it's a piccolo, that haunts the whole duration of the song in the best way. Much like the original music video for the song, everything follows each other perfectly, from the piccolo to the lyrics down to each note. Pausing in the middle or interrupting Lag Train in any way feels like a sin, and the part right at the end of the bridge activates every neuron in my monkey brain. It's excellent. I'm so glad everyone who was asking for this got what they wanted. Number 8. Admiring the Late Blooming Cherry Blossoms, featuring one of the clunkiest song titles and one of the most boring music videos. This song is really saved by being goddamn beautiful. An excellent arrangement that delightfully features some character and storytelling in the actual song. No MV needed to experience this bit of characterization. So, Mizuki's gender identity is the crux of their story and is the big secret that they've been holding on to for 4 of the game's years. Based on their uniform from flashbacks, it seems Mizuki was born male, but preferred to at least not present themselves masculinely. Enna has recently learned of this to some degree, and this song is Enna's response and very much correlates with the event this goes to. The reason I mention all of that is because we get to hear Mizuki for just a line, sing in their quote-unquote real voice. Mizuki's voice actress, Sato Hinata, performs this line so excellently. Her performances for Mizuki have already towed the line of gender neutrality before, but it really gets put on display here in a way that is so beautiful that it makes me wish people would look beyond Bake no Hana already and actually pay attention to Enna's response to the well-trodden Mizu 5 event. Number 7. Bug. For every top 10 video I've done so far, I've gotten commenters complaining about no bug. Look, I do like it, see? Bug is a lot to take in by design. There's no shortage of frantic, fast-paced songs in Project Sekai, but Bug really masters that energy while still giving the singers and melody time to enjoy itself. It's a bit of a shame that the in-game version doesn't feature the second verse. It slaps the shit out of my hands, it's so good. And this MV is excellent too, with an incredible art style and smart use of a computer virus to act as Mafuyu's Bug. I'm not surprised people were looking for it in my lists, and I hope that its inclusion can help you rest assured that just because a song doesn't make it into the top 10 video for the year, doesn't mean I don't still think the song's a total jam. Number 6. Bake no Hana. I stand by my previous statement that people gotta let themselves acknowledge how Enna and the others have settled the conflict initiated in the event Bake no Hana accompanied, but I can't really blame them for wanting to cling to this song so hard. It rules. It's dark, it's scary, it's got this gothic, horror, fairy tale adjacent vibe to its sound and MV that I adore. I wish I could say the only problem with it is that I wish it were longer, and on a technicality that is the only issue, but really my gripe is that this is not a song made for a group performance. This song is clearly from Mizuki's point of view, and theirs alone. At best, it could be a duet with Enna, and fingers crossed we get alt options in the future that remedy that gripe. But despite all that, they at least still knew that this was the Mizuki show, and gave them all the most important lines, including the heart-wrenching "I'm breaking down, I'm sorry." I mean, there's a reason why Bake no Hana has had the Project Sekai community wrapped up in its charms the way it has, and even ignoring the story it came with, I still put it this high on my top 10 list easily. Number 5. Dokuzu. Dokuzu is one of those ones that took a couple of listens for me to fall for. I already really liked this song before it made its way into the game, and for some reason when I first heard Nightcord's version, I found myself disappointed. Maybe I felt it wasn't powerful enough, maybe I was disappointed with the line distribution. Whatever it was, I was wrong and stupid. This version of Dokuzu rules, and while I do wish we'd get more songs where Mafuyu got to sing with Kanade and Enna with Mizuki Suzuki, I can't deny that every time these two perform together, it rocks my whole world, and Dokuzu is no exception. Number 4. The Light That Dwells Here. This is Nightcord's song made special for the movie that wanders on our horizon. And boy howdy, you put a meaty bass like this in a song and I'm basically guaranteed to fall in love. I also do really like how, with how down the group has been in their more recent events, that this song brings back that light. Just like in the title, Nightcord aren't just sad team. They are each other's light. In a dark and sad world, they have each other and their Sekai to be their beacon of hope. And this song, above any others made for the group, gives us that feeling. It's infectious and has so far been the biggest thing that's gotten me thinking about watching the movie. Number 3. Mind Brand. Mind Brand has lived in my head rent-free since it dropped. If any song was gonna give us these edgy vibes done well, it would be from Merutu. Part of me blames this punchy beat and bass, part of me blames the kids' perfect harmonies during the chorus and their lowercase screaming, part of me blames the weirdly earwormy welcome to the mindfuck that closes out the song. I guess I should just blame the whole thing then, huh? The MV's probably the worst part of the whole thing, and even then it's not even that bad of an MV. I just can't escape Mind Brand, and in my eyes, this is the definitive version of the song too. If I hear someone else do their rendition of it, even if it's also very nice, I can't help but keep coming back to Nightcord's. I guess it's all just part of the mind fucking, huh? Number 2. Heat Abnormal. One of my favorite comments on my last top 10 video is someone lamenting the lack of Heat Abnormal, in which I replied and unfortunately had to tell them that the song had come out months after my video was made. But I do get that eager commenter's enthusiasm. You can tell when a Project Sekai cover really lands, because you'll see a bunch of other covers crop up for a previously pretty underground song suddenly, which means you can now go out and find your favorite version of Heat Abnormal, and while there's many that are out there that are worth your time, there's something really special about Nightcord's version. Something about how well the group's performance together is both beautiful and haunting. Something about how the MV echoes that haunting beauty as the world ends. I don't know, man, it just feels like the sort of song you don't forget. You can't forget. And quite frankly, I don't want to forget it. Honorable mention! Ogre's Head by Matsubi has been in my song rotation since it dropped last year. Matsubi has this real knack for having catchy vocal hooks over an equally catchy beat that bounce you around a song flawlessly. This quick, rap-like sound makes Vivid Bad Squad a perfect first choice to cover it, with An and Kohane easily taking over Teito's parts, while Akito and Toya handle Kaito's. It practically writes itself. Alternatively, though, Leonid are no strangers to these fast-tempo songs themselves. And with the group's tendency to spread out their line distribution, they'd bounce the lyrics between each other in a way that would match the tone of the original in a really great way. Number 1. I Am the Rain. Nightcord gets a lot of variety with their music. They get sad songs, angry songs, scary songs, and I think what I like about I Am the Rain so much is that, like, it's just a banger. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still some clear emotion coming through, from the watery instrumentation to the kids' vocals echoing like water drops, but there's something kind of refreshing about how this song makes me want to move and groove, even when separated from the story of the game. I also really like the use of Len here. He's like a ghostly echo for a good portion of the song, like a pencil sketch still showing through Enna's paint. I think it really shows how much I dig a song when I have so little to say about a perfectly fine MV like this too, and would rather focus on discussing the sound of the song more so than the neato leggings and socks that the kids get to wear in the music video. I Am the Rain quietly took me by storm, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. And with that, it's time to move on to the next group, Wonderlands Showtime. Wonderlands can be a shockingly mixed bag for how consistent their general vibes are, which means their songs can end up a little bit more hit or miss to me. Like I said earlier though, this year really is oops all bangers, so it's nice to see so many more hits than misses from my beloved circus bunch. Number 10, Selfish Princess. The first few seconds of the song really starts it off on the wrong foot, in my opinion. Emu's la la la's just sound so childish that the part of me that hates how little kids sound gets ready to write the whole thing off. Luckily, it passes quickly and struts directly into this slick melody instead. I'd love for Selfish Princess to get an MV in the not too distant future, because getting to see the gals bouncing along to this infectious BGM would be the true icing on Selfish Princess's cake. Number 9, Sekai Itatsu. Songs with a lot of dialogue like this can be tricky to pull off, ending up basically just being a fast conversation with some music in the background. Luckily, Sekai doesn't suffer from that problem, as the conversation and singing blend together like hot butter on toast. The way the song keeps jumping into these small transitions between acts also keeps the listener constantly on their toes. It really does end up feeling like you got to see a whole musical performance in just a short amount of time, hilariously enhanced by the extra charming MV, letting the kids literally put on a stage show for us. I always like it when Tsukasa gets to really yell, but I think my favorite part of the song has to go to Nene. Makes me wish we'd get a whole song where she gets to do that. Number 8, Reincarnation Apple. What a surprise! The open Pinocchio P fan puts another Pinocchio P song on her top 10 list. Could you really blame me though? He's just a master at these fast-paced, hyper-catchy choruses, with a really full sound to his music that lends itself really well to the group performances of Project Sekai. As always with the covers of his songs, I find myself itching for a full version to make its way to us, and getting an MV to see the kids as reincarnations would be an extra layer of delight. Really, the only thing keeping Reincarnation Apple from going any higher is I kinda hate the sound of biting into an apple that punctuates the verses, which is a me problem. But it's also a me top 10 now, isn't it? Number 7, Kanton Boogie. Translating to Chaos Boogie, what an incredibly fitting name. The music and lyrics bounce out at you in a way that almost forces you to get up and boogie yourself, perfectly exemplified with the group's dancing in the MV being a near permanent cycle of jumping and kicking. The ebbs and flows in and out of the chorus keep it from feeling too repetitive, while still making sure to give us plenty of that chorus to keep us satisfied, because let's be clear, that is the best part. Number 6, Opera, Space Opera. Opera, Space Opera is a song that I can never seem to remember how it goes, but I remember, oh I know I like that one, like some fascinating Flowers for Algernon phenomenon, a reference none of you are gonna get. But then I listen to it again and it feels like I should be able to sing and dance along with the gang. The la-ta-ta-tas in the chorus are like an alien's hypnotic signal, pulling me along and, at least temporarily, compelling me to join in the performance. This whole section has ended up a bit cerebral, so maybe I should just say it plainly. The song's catchy as fuck without being an annoying earworm about it. Number 5, Mr. Showtime. The biggest downside to Mr. Showtime is the fact we didn't get a 3D MV for it. I love this dark circus aesthetic, but at least we did get this absolutely stunning 2D one, featuring some of the most shout-out-worthy art for the game I've seen by the lovely Rayla. I know I should probably mention the catchy, snappy sound of the song too, but I just can't help it. Despite me wanting a 3D MV for it, Mr. Showtime's 2D MV haunts my brain every time I listen to it. The two go together hand in hand in my book. If you indulge in one, you must indulge in the other as well. The visuals and music just go so well together. Number 4, Cyberpunk Dead Boy. Similar to how I discussed with Heat Abnormal earlier, you can tell that Cyberpunk Dead Boy crash-landed into the internet an instant hit by all the covers that cropped up soon after its debut, and while I do get it, it took me a while to hop onto the Dead Boy hype train myself, and I think that falls on the mixing for the full group version. It seems that someone didn't get the memo that this was a Rui song. Emu's cute, bubbly voice goes against the grain of the sound the song is aiming for, and she pierces through the sound of each chorus when I wish I was being allowed to hear Rui better instead, an issue that is luckily alleviated by the slamtacular alt version for Rui alone, which thankfully has me all aboard the hype train. Number 3, Today is also cheerful. I've made it no secret I like happy, energetic songs, and this one very much lives up to its title. Downright scientifically pinpoint tailored to put a smile on your face. My heart can't help but beat in time to the drum, and my shoulders can't help but to bounce along with the kids' performance. Today is also cheerful makes me feel the same way I do when listening to old Pokemon songs. I just wish it was longer. 2 minutes isn't even that short for an in-game length, and yet it feels like it flies right on by. Number 2. Living Millennium. I've sung the MV's praises up and down in another video, so I won't linger on it for too long, but I do want to at least take the time to mention how much I irrationally like their little jam session in the middle of the song. Living Millennium's one of those songs that really sticks with you after you listen to it, especially the cool, dissonant distortion during the instrumental. It may be the minimalistic vibes of the MV that has me wanting to say Living Millennium gives me huge old-school RPG Maker horror vibes, but I don't think that assertion is off base by any means. It's got that approachably cute horror flavor that I crave, all wrapped up in a super catchy tune to boot. Honorable mention! Confession of a Rotten Girl is Sawtone's newest zeitgeist to hit the internet. Is it Sawtone or is it Sawtown? I'm gonna go with Sawtone. It sounds cooler. And while you may be more familiar with his Miku Miku beams spanning across Fortnite, I for one can't get over every single element to Rotten Girl. From the slick visuals to the hard EDM flavor of music that dominated my teen years, Confession of a Rotten Girl gets everything right. Now, being an English song, expecting a group to cover it would be quite the long shot. However, in a dream world, I'd really enjoy Leonid bringing Sawtone's hard rock to life, not to mention Saki cosplaying as Rotten Miku is a perfect match. Alternatively, Vivid Bad Squad would excel at matching the song's fast pacing, and the squad come preloaded for the male chorus chanting Amen. Number 1. God of Mine. In this house, we appreciate it when Wonderlands Showtime slows things down a little bit for a song. And really, at a BPM of 140, it's not even that slow. It's just when compared to so much of the list, God of Mine feels significantly less frantic. And what's nice is that it still brings so much power in it, with the chorus especially getting me amped up. I wish this had been like Cyberpunk Dead Boy and had prompted a ton of covers from fans because I really like this melody and energy. And I want to hear others give their take on it. Not to mention how sick the night aesthetic is for the MV. You give me boys holding swords upright like this, and I'm already clapping. Like a rising sun, God of Mine lights up my world every time I listen to it. And with that, we continue into the top half of the group order with Vivid Bad Squad next. Now, being one of my consistently favorite groups, it means the squad's top 10 ended up shuffling around quite a bit. We're getting to the point where I like each song so much that we gotta start really nitpicking to decide on an order from 10 to 1. So let's see the fruits of that labor. Number 10. Haven. Much like Haruka's edgy pants earlier, I'm similarly a little fatigued by Classy Vibes Toya, despite only really getting 2 songs with this aesthetic. And similar to Haruka's songs earlier, it's hard to be too mad when Toya's Classy Vibes results in bangers like Haven. It's basically cheating how every time they make the squad go, whoa, in unison, the song rockets up my favorite list. The thing keeping Haven this low is the fact that this is unfortunately the first instance this video of a Vocaloid not quite fitting in with the humans. Len's just not quite doing it for me, and in general, this higher pitch for the squad isn't really my favorite version of them either. Number 9. Blender. If I had a nickel for every time they had a Classy Vibes Toya event, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird. Blender is a far better iteration of the aesthetic, though, slowing the whole thing down and giving the song this sexy, smoky sound to it, not only allowing for some extra flexing on the performer's behalf, but also giving Blender a totally unique flavor for the game. Nothing else we have sounds like this, which is a shame because the gang's killing it over here. From the smooth beginning to the ramping up towards the end, they're hitting every beat perfectly together, and I love when a song leads to such clear cohesion between the Vivids and Bad Dogs like this, rather than dissonantly keeping the 2 sections separated for no reason. Number 8. Awake Now. Ann's got one of my favorite voices in the game, and so giving her a song like Awake Now, where basically the whole point is for her to sound powerful and cool, means of course I'm going to like it. Honestly, if I think of the Vivids, the song is the vibe I think of for them. The mix of power in the vocals, a cute synth in the track, and a juicy beat keeping it all together. My biggest gripe is with the MV. The art's all nice, but I think it's just such a shame that the focus is given to these illustrations of the kids in their athletic wear. They look real stiff and awkward when compared to the vibrant, character-filled art that is mostly obscured by the backlighting during the verses. I wish we got to see more of these instead. Number 7. Retainer Supplanting His Lord. Retainer Supplanting His Lord shares a lot of qualities with Awake Now, meaning it's a similar list of praise to be doled out, with a few added bonuses. The bonus of the boys being implemented into the track more successfully this time around, in my opinion. The bonus of the song getting to incorporate some tasty, story-driven edge into it. And the bonus that I don't even have anything to bitch about in relation to the MV this time. If you like Awake Now, you'll like Retainer Supplanting His Lord even more. Number 6. Ow No Beats. Ow No Beats is a real anomaly because it's one of the very few songs in the game that doesn't feature a Vocaloid. It's just Akito and Toya here, and honestly, I think the song benefits from that simplicity. The fellas sound stunning together, and keeping it a duet really adds a lot to the narrative of the song that would only be hurt by shoehorning in a virtual voice into the mix. I do really wish we'd get an MV for it, if only because based on the song art we get, the vibes would be immaculate, but even without the visuals to aid it, Ow No Beats' vibes are already pretty dang hard to improve on. Number 5. Ultra C. This MV may be a disappointing way to show the kids surpassing the illustrious Rad Weekend, but at least the song puts in the work to convince me that they really did achieve such a grand milestone. From second 1 of the song, there's an undeniable power in the room, and somehow the gang manages to keep one-upping that power until you gotta start worrying about them blowing out your speakers. This is the ultimate bitch track, and does a far better job of showing off Vivid Bad Squad's growth and ability than Beyond the Way had pretended to do. A performance truly worthy of living up to all the hype around Rad Weekend, held back only slightly by what feels like an unnecessary amount of auto-tune. Number 4. Callboy. I adore this song's addition to the game because I enjoyed it so much that it prompted me to track down as many covers of the song as I could. When Project Sekai makes me start scouring the internet for other versions of a song just so I can listen to the full thing, you know they've done something right. It's a little iffy on a first listen, but I found myself growing to accept the disparity between Miku's ludicrously high voice versus the boys' more natural levels, but I can't deny that I ache for alt versions of the fellas, so I could remix those together into a duet instead. I think my favorite parts are probably all the ad-libs, where Akito and Toya get to laugh and yell fuck. An amazing song, an amazing cover to go with it. Number 3. Unaware Drunkard. A million years ago, in a video I made with a terrible thumbnail, I'd hoped for this song's inclusion into the game, and I'm so glad I got my wish. It's better than I think I could have ever asked for, with an MV that makes me go feral mode, and an iteration of a song I already liked that has become my preferred version of it. My body can't sit still when I listen to it. My volume never feels like it's high enough for it. For the longest time, Unaware Drunkard was my number 1 Vivid Bad Squad song for this top 10, and for good reason, which really goes to show just how dang good the rest of the list is gonna be to surpass it. Number 2. Rumor. This is one of those ones I knew people were asking for before it made its way into the game, and it's one of those ones where I'm so happy all those people got their way. Rumor latched onto my brain immediately and rocketed up my favorites list, and could you really blame me? This song bleeds perfection. It's a certified banger from start to finish. I don't even know how to describe how good it is. It feels sexy, juicy, squishy? Maybe it's just Kaito's inclusion in the MV that's got me acting up, but the jump to the lit pool at night during the final chorus makes me ache for summer and nighttime adventures. Man, I'm obsessed with this, and every time I finish the song, I can't wait to listen to it again. Honorable mention! A Spoonful of Spell is a bit of a clunky name to accompany my latest obsession from R906. You gotta appreciate the actually good horror songs we get in the Vocaloid world, and this one takes the full cake, with a building tension that's punctuated by these haunting long notes. I think my first pick for a cover being from Nightcord isn't really much of a surprise. I can practically already hear Mafuyu and Kanade's voices as they slide across the lyrics. More Jump is a bit more of an unconventional second choice, but you should know by now I love it when the idols actually get to be edgy, and their vocals would be just as haunting and effective as Nightcord's, so really between the two, it's a win-win. Number 1. Drowning in Flowers. This happens so often with Vivid Bad Squad songs on my list, where I'll have them ranked in the middle of the list, and find myself continuously pushing it up and up as I realize that I'm clearly more excited about it than what I have above it. And clearly this is what happened with Drowning in Flowers, a song that really struck me right off the bat. It really wastes no time, throwing you straight into the good hooks, a small taste of the 10 out of 10 catchy chorus before treating you to an equally enjoyable verse, with a build up to the chorus that makes me fucking lose it. The whole song is littered with these points that perfectly spotlight the melody in a punchy, ultra-satisfying way. I just wish we got a full version. I'm stuck keeping Drowning in Flowers on repeat, desperately wishing I could have more of it. I am very impressed with the producer, Shikasai, who is relatively new to the Vocaloid scene, and I look forward to seeing what other bangers we get from the Project Sekai Academy program that they hail from. And finally, at the top of my enthusiasm level this year is Leonid. I know, I'm surprised too. Leonid have been dominating the bottom 2 slots on my enthusiasm-o-meter for all my previous top 10 lists, and it's really amazing to see them rocket all the way up to the top like this. But I can't deny that every one of these 10 songs of theirs gets me excited. There was no denying their placement here to me, so let's get into the list. Number 10. Regulus. Regulus is perhaps most noteworthy for having the best 3D MV for the band so far, at least in my perspective, and thank goodness it gets to be accompanied by a song that totally slaps like this, featuring an almost cold power to it as the girls break through the instruments periodically for emphasis. I also always appreciated when a Leonid song clearly incorporates each of the band's instruments into its track, and Saki's piano, or rather guitar, dances across the guitar effortlessly here. The only thing holding it back is that I kinda hate Honami's very last line of the song. But one meh line isn't enough to ruin the experience, I say. Number 9. Growing Up Together. Almost in a fascinating contrast to Regulus and its one meh line, I like Growing Up Together mostly for one stellar line from Shio. I just love her voice, man, but that's not to say the rest of the song isn't noteworthy itself. It's captured that beloved friendship vibes I like so much from the band excellently, and it's got a real flippin' neato music video, giving us a whole manga-styled narrative with Ichika going to space. Leonid can rock out really well, but it's also nice to see them slow down like this too every now and then. Number 8. If That Sound Rings Out. Okay, that's enough slowing down. One of the first things I noticed with If That Sound Rings Out is that it's got a BPM of 213, and those beats per minute are really what holds on to you throughout the song. That and an especially standout performance from Honami. I do sorta lament how the girls are sorta stuck in this higher pitch that doesn't give them a lot of room to play vocally, and that this is another instance of the virtual singer standing out a bit for the performance in a not so great way. But even despite those gripes, I can't help but bob along to the song, to smile as I listen to it, and to enjoy the cutie little chibis rocking out in the MV. Number 7. Calc. Calc really flew under my radar the first time I listened to it. Nothing that special, just another rock song from Leonid, I'd thought. Then I listened to it a second time and was like, these vocals are fantastic! The girls all sound phenomenal together, with a really effective use of Miku that doesn't hide her robotic sound, but also doesn't keep her stuck in the background either, which all isn't even to mention the classic sound of the guitar throughout. Calc feels timeless to the point I'm blown away I hadn't heard about it at all before it made its way into Project Sekai. Number 6. Transient Apple Sales Girl. If I had a nickel for every song in the top 10 video this year with Apple in the title, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. I'm super glad to see Len take over for Gumi here. I really like how Len sounds with the girls, and I think if this had come out earlier in the game's life, it would have been another use of Miku in the band. And I love Miku, but I think Len is bringing something really great here, allowing the girls to reach their higher pitches while helping to flesh out the sound. Len's not the only one doing great here, though. This might be my favorite performance from Saki, utilizing her soft yet distinct voice in a way I've been itching to see come out of the game. I think the only thing I dislike about Apple Sales Girl is the awkward way it fades out at the end. Number 5. Summertime Record. And we've got another excellent virtual singer swap out here too. Luca gets to play with the band so rarely for being one of their starting Vocaloids, and it's a shame because I think she similarly sounds great with them. This is especially a treat as it's another instance of Luca sounding like herself and not too much like Miku. I do lament the lack of a full version of Summertime Record because while the more low-key vibes of the beginning are great, the song truly shines with the power in the chorus, and I wish we just got more of that. At 2.5 minutes, it's not even a particularly short song for the game, and yet it just doesn't feel like enough. Sorry, Summertime Record, you're just too good. I want more. Number 4. Mosaic Roll Reloaded. Ah, Rockwell at his most Rockwelliest. These guitar notes sliding across the song pulls at your eardrums and heart that leads you right into the palm of his hands, and the bombastic choruses, and Deco's edgy, vague enough lyrics dance across the melody perfectly. Or really, they don't dance. They stomp. They storm. It's as if the song marches in lockstep towards combat you can't see. I know this is a lot of artsy feelings. Leonid has quite the tendency to pull that out of me. I discussed why I like the song, but what about this specific version of it? Well, I gotta be honest, I think it could be better in the fact that I just don't think this line distribution is doing much of it a favor. I think keeping this a 3-person performance would have helped it out more. But even with that gripe, I have to shout out both Ichika and Kaito for nailing it. Kaito during the bridge is probably my favorite part, and I wish he got to sing the whole thing, honestly. Number 3. Way Anchor. Now this is what I come to Leonid for. Right off the bat, Way Anchor throws an amazing hook at you. The song is as catchy as it is fun, perfectly capturing the seafaring aesthetic it's aiming for, and it's great to see another solid Luca performance joining the band. The MV is a delight too, giving us a background that changes to fit the narrative, and plenty of moments to appreciate the girls' playing. But what's really nice is that you can still enjoy the sick guitar and bass, even when just listening to the song on its own. Everything about Way Anchor rocks my world and leaves me excited to listen to it again. Number 2. On the Verge. I love the dreamy, almost eerie vibes of this song. Leonid are probably the group who ventures into different subgenres and flavors the least in the game, sticking safely to the usual rock and pop songs. So every time we get some variety with them, I'm already out of my seat and ready to applaud. But On the Verge doesn't just get praise for being kinda unique. It gets that praise for being catchy as fuck. This melody plays on loop in my head by choice. The back and forth of it all not only is mesmerizing to listen to, but matches the themes of the lyrics excellently too. And you know, I'm getting a bit tired of the Project Sekai team continually falling back onto edgy, it's not a phase big bro aesthetics for Saki's events, but also I think the outfits for this MV are omega cute, so how much can I really let myself complain? Honorable mention! I Hate You by Eggton might just be one of my favorite songs ever, with a slick retro vibe to the whole sound and some of the greatest tuning I've heard for Eleanor Forte. I Hate You is a dark comedy extravaganza, vicious and hilarious in equal measure, wrapped up in a delicious analog horror aesthetic. Much like Confession of a Rotten Girl being an English song limits the reality of this getting a cover were it to ever make its way into the game. But in our dream world where it did, I'd be begging for a Wonderlands version. If anyone would be able to perfectly deliver the line, "I hope you choke on glass," with a smile on their face, it'd be our circus bunch. But I think the dark vibes are equally likely to find their place with Nightcord too. Mafuyu singing this about her mom or Anna about her art teacher is almost too perfect to pass up itself. Number 1. Transparent Elegy. This is another one that was very recently added to the game, and is honestly the song that prompted me to make this whole video in the first place. I wasn't sure I was gonna do the usual top 10 list this year, but then this dropped and I felt the need to discuss good music that I like creep back into me. I went into the MV assuming so little. Just another boring Leonine music video, I bet. And while the MV isn't quite as notable as Regulus's, it's still a decently fun time, featuring some really lovely shots in the halls of the school and a wacko skybox. But the thing that really blew me away was just how good it sounds. It makes sense that the sky's going crazy back there because the kids are rocking so hard they're transcending time. And maybe if I'd paid attention to the fact that this song was crafted by my beloved Nabuna, I wouldn't have been so surprised. They truly are a master at these guitar riffs that prompt my blood to pump more efficiently in my body, and I really love Len getting to play with the girls here. Not only because I quite like how he sounds with them, and not only because I'm number 1 fan asking for more Vocaloids who aren't Miku featuring in the 3D MVs for Leonid, but because Len demonstrably brings the most energy to his performances with the band. I mean, look at him doing full jumps and stuff. In a world where I'd been falling off on my interest in Project Sekai, this song brought me right back to making a video for it. Of course, it's my number 1, and I hope you check it out for yourself. You deserve the treat. And there we have it. Whittling this list down to an overall top 10 feels kinda impossible, but I think I can muster up the power to give you a list of the top 10 of the top 10s here. As usual, in the description you'll find a playlist of all 50 songs listed, plus the bonus 5 honorable mentions as well. And if you still crave even more, you can check out my previous top 10 videos for more cool fun times. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.
Alright, we're Beatles too.
Then I looked around and I was like, wait a minute. This isn't a 70s themed bar. That's a gay disco ball.
Holy shit. Oh, Josh. Uncle Dad. Zach.
Shit.
Well, I'm dead.
Huh? What?
I'm dead. Says here, I'm definitely dead.
What about us? What does it say about me? Am I dead?
Nope. Just
Why
me.
do you get to... That's a mistake, isn't it?
Ah, somebody's jealous. Jealous of me being dead.
I don't know how else to describe this, and this is the worst word for it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's crunchy. Does that make sense?
Nope.
"私はあなたが星です」